Look at your life as it stands in this exact moment. Look at the balance in your bank account, the condition of your physical body, the quality of your relationships, and the level of peace in your mind. You have been told that you are a rational creature, a being of free will, who makes conscious, deliberate choices every single day. You believe that you decided what time to wake up this morning, what to eat for breakfast, and how hard to work at your profession. You believe that your current station in life is the sum total of your logical, conscious decisions. But I am here to tell you that you are living an illusion. You are not the captain of your ship. You are merely a passenger who has been allowed to stand on the deck and pretend to hold the wheel. The staggering, terrifying, and ultimately liberating truth is that your conscious mind is not running the show. It is merely the press secretary, rationalizing and explaining away the actions dictated by a silent, invisible, and overwhelmingly powerful force. That force is your subconscious mind. It is running your life with the cold, mathematical precision of a machine, and until you understand how to communicate with it, you will remain a prisoner of your own hidden programming. You are here because you have reached a point of profound frustration. You have read the books, you have attended the seminars, and you have set the conscious goals. You have sworn to yourself 1,000 times that you are going to change. You declare that you will start the business, stick to the diet, save the money, and leave the toxic relationship. And for a few days, through the sheer exhausting force of conscious willpower, you succeed. But then, an invisible elastic band snaps you right back to where you started. You find yourself eating the food you swore off, spending the money you meant to save, and engaging in the exact same self-destructive behaviors you promised to abandon. You ask yourself, why do I do this? Why do I sabotage my own success? The answer is not that you are weak. The answer is not that you lack willpower. The answer is that you are bringing a conscious knife to a subconscious gunfight. Your conscious mind, the part of you that thinks, reasons, and sets goals, makes up roughly 5% of your cognitive power. The other 95% is the vast hidden ocean of the subconscious. When your 5% of conscious desire conflicts with your 95% of subconscious programming, the subconscious will win every single time. It will not negotiate. It will not compromise. It will crush your conscious intentions without a second thought. To understand this dynamic, we must look at the nature of the subconscious itself. Think of your mind as a massive, fertile field. The subconscious is the soil. It is incredibly rich, incredibly powerful, and completely impartial. It does not care what you plant in it. It has no moral compass. It does not distinguish between a seed of success and a seed of failure, a seed of wealth or a seed of poverty, a seed of health or a seed of poison. Its only job is to take whatever seed is dropped into its depths and grow it into your physical reality. Your conscious mind is the gardener. Its job is to choose the seeds and guard the gate. But the tragedy of the average man is that he has fallen asleep at the gate. He has allowed the weeds of fear, doubt, scarcity, and unworthiness to blow into the garden of his mind, and his subconscious has faithfully grown those weeds into a dense, suffocating jungle of failure. Where did these seeds come from? They were planted before you even had the conscious ability to reject them. From the moment you were born until about the age of 7, your brain was operating primarily in a theta wave state. This is a state of hypnosis. During those formative years, you did not have a conscious filter. Everything you saw, heard, and experienced bypassed your reasoning faculty and went straight into the fertile soil of your subconscious. You were a sponge, absorbing the vibrational environment of the adults around you. If you were raised in an environment where money was a source of stress, your subconscious recorded the belief that wealth is difficult to acquire and dangerous to hold. If you heard your parents say, "We can't afford that," or "Rich people are greedy," or "Life is a struggle," those phrases were not just words, they were hypnotic commands. They became the foundational source code of your mental operating system. You were programmed to view the world through a lens of scarcity. You were infected with the poverty virus before you even knew what money was. Now, decades later, your conscious mind says, "I want to be a millionaire." But your subconscious mind looks at its programming and says, "Error. Wealth is dangerous. Wealth means greed. We are a family of struggle. We must remain safe." And it will immediately go to work to dismantle your conscious efforts. It will make you oversleep. It will make you pick a fight with a business partner. Or it will make you blow a massive opportunity, all in the name of keeping you safe in the familiar territory of lack. Your subconscious mind operates on the principles of psycho-cybernetics. It is a goal-seeking mechanism, much like a heat-seeking missile or a thermostat on a wall. If a thermostat is set to 60 degrees, the room will remain at 60 degrees. If someone opens a window and a draft of hot air pushes the temperature up to 70 degrees, the thermostat will detect the deviation and immediately kick on the air conditioning to freeze the room back down to the programmed baseline. It does not matter how hard the hot air tries. The thermostat will always restore the equilibrium. Your subconscious has a psychological thermostat for every single area of your life. You have a financial thermostat, a relationship thermostat, and a health thermostat. If your financial thermostat is set to struggling middle class, and you suddenly receive a windfall of cash, perhaps from a successful deal, an inheritance, or a stroke of luck, your conscious mind will rejoice. But your subconscious will panic. The temperature has exceeded the programmed limit. It feels alien. It feels unsafe. The mental air conditioner will immediately kick on. You will suddenly feel an irresistible urge to buy things you do not need, to make risky investments, or to give the money away to people who will squander it. You will not stop until the bank account is brought right back down to the exact dollar amount that your subconscious considers normal. This is why statistics show that the vast majority of lottery winners are completely broke within 5 years. They changed the balance in their bank account, but they did not change the thermostat in their subconscious mind. The subconscious is not trying to hurt you. It is trying to protect you. Its primary directive is survival, and to the primitive part of the brain, survival means sticking to what is known. The known might be painful, it might be miserable, and it might be broke, but it is familiar. And to the subconscious, familiar equals safe. The unknown, even if the unknown is a life of absolute luxury, perfect health, and boundless joy, is perceived as a threat simply because it is uncharted territory. This is why you are afraid to succeed. This is why you procrastinate. Procrastination is not laziness. It is an active defense mechanism deployed by your subconscious to prevent you from entering the terrifying landscape of a new, elevated reality. To cure this condition, to break the chains of your childhood programming and take dominion over your own life, you must learn the language of the subconscious. You cannot argue with it using logic. You cannot bully it with willpower. Willpower is a battery. It depletes throughout the day. If you try to force yourself to be wealthy, disciplined, or happy using only conscious willpower, you will eventually exhaust the battery and collapse back into your old habits. The subconscious, on the other hand, is a generator. It never sleeps. It operates 24 hours a day, keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, and your habits functioning. To change your life, you must plug your conscious desires into the limitless power of the subconscious generator. How is this transmutation achieved? The subconscious mind responds to only two things: emotion and repetition. It does not understand the language of facts, figures, or intellectual debate. It understands the language of feeling and the language of habit. The greatest tool you possess for reprogramming this hidden giant is the law of autosuggestion. This is the art of deliberately planting new seeds in the soil of your mind until they take root and strangle the old weeds of limitation. You must realize that every thought you think with emotion is a suggestion to your subconscious. When you walk around feeling sorry for yourself, complaining about your debts, and worrying about the future, you are actively giving your subconscious a command. You are saying, "I am a victim, I am poor, give me more circumstances that match this feeling." And your faithful servant says, "Your wish is my command," and proceeds to manifest a reality that matches your dismal vibration. You must interrupt this cycle through deliberate, forceful autosuggestion. You must begin to lie to your subconscious mind until that lie becomes the new truth. You must construct a clear, definitive statement of exactly what you want, your definite chief aim. You must state the exact amount of money you intend to acquire, the exact business you intend to build, or the exact physical condition you intend to achieve. But reading the words is not enough. You must fuse those words with a burning, white-hot emotion. When you declare that you are wealthy, you must actually feel the relief of having your bills paid. You must feel the texture of the steering wheel in the car you intend to drive. You must feel the pride of walking into your own boardroom. You must experience the emotion of the wish fulfilled in the present tense. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a physical event that is actually happening and a mental event that is vividly imagined with intense emotion. If you close your eyes and vividly imagine biting into a sour lemon, if you see the juice, smell the rind, and feel the tartness on your tongue, your mouth will begin to water. Your salivary glands will physically react to a lemon that does not exist anywhere except in your imagination. Your subconscious mind triggered a physiological response to a mental image. Now imagine applying that same principle to the concept of wealth, power, and sovereignty. If you spend 20 minutes every night, right before you drift into sleep, vividly visualizing yourself living the life of an elite titan of industry, your subconscious will begin to accept that vision as a literal reality. Sleep is the time when the conscious mind steps away from the gate, and the subconscious is most receptive to new instructions. If you fall asleep worrying about your bills, you are marinating your subconscious in the poison of poverty for 8 solid hours. But if you fall asleep, feeling the gratitude, the power, and the peace of a man who has already conquered the world, your subconscious will work all night to find ways to bring that vision into the physical plane. It will begin to alert you to opportunities you previously ignored. It will guide your intuition. It will orchestrate synchronicities. It will change your body language, your tone of voice, and your magnetic vibration, drawing the people and resources you need directly into your path. But visualization alone is not enough. You must fortify the new programming through the law of repetition. The grooves of poverty and mediocrity in your brain were not formed overnight. They were formed by decades of continuous repetitive reinforcement. To carve a new groove of opulence and mastery, you must apply relentless daily repetition. You must read your definite chief aim aloud twice a day. You must guard the gates of your mind with the ferocity of a starving wolf. You cannot expect to reprogram your subconscious for greatness if you spend 3 hours a day watching the news, which is explicitly designed to program you with fear and helplessness. You cannot expect to build a subconscious blueprint for millions if you spend your weekends drinking with men who complain about making pennies. The subconscious is always eavesdropping. It is always recording. If you surround yourself with the vibration of the masses, you will remain one of the masses. You must implement a policy of absolute mental sovereignty. Cut out the negative media. Cut out the gossip. Cut out the people who drag your vibration down. Replace them with the biographies of the great ones, the audio recordings of masters, and the company of men and women who demand excellence. You must immerse yourself in an environment that proves to your subconscious that success is not a miracle, but a normal, everyday occurrence. You must also learn the law of reversed effort. This is a critical psychological hurdle that destroys many ambitious people. The law of reversed effort states that when your conscious desire and your subconscious belief are in conflict, the harder you consciously try, the more spectacularly you will fail. Think of a man who suffers from insomnia. The harder he consciously tries to force himself to sleep, the more awake and agitated he becomes. His conscious effort creates a tension that is the exact opposite of the relaxation required for sleep. He only falls asleep when he stops trying. The same applies to wealth and success. If your subconscious believes you are a failure, and you grit your teeth and consciously force yourself to work 18 hours a day to become rich, your effort will produce nothing but exhaustion and ruin. Your underlying vibration is one of desperation, and the universe does not reward desperation. You must stop trying to force the external world to submit to your will and start forcing your internal world to submit to your vision. When your subconscious mind is fully convinced that you are already the master of your destiny, the physical work becomes effortless. The struggle vanishes. You do not grind, you flow. You take the exact same actions, but because they are powered by a subconscious engine of absolute certainty, they produce tenfold the results. Look at the story of the elephant tied to a small wooden peg. When the elephant is a baby, it is tied to that peg with a heavy rope. The baby elephant pulls and tugs and fights with all its might, but it is not strong enough to break the rope or pull the peg from the ground. Eventually, after days of futile struggle, the baby elephant's subconscious mind accepts a new belief. I cannot break this rope. I am permanently bound. Fast forward 10 years. The elephant is now a massive 5-ton behemoth capable of uprooting entire trees. It is still tied to the exact same small wooden peg with the exact same rope. It could easily snap the rope with a casual flick of its leg. but it does not even try. Why? Because the elephant's subconscious mind still holds the programming installed when it was a baby. The physical reality of the elephant has changed, but the mental blueprint has not. The limitation is no longer the rope. The limitation is the belief. You are that elephant. You are walking around with the power of the universe inside of you. You possess a mind capable of transmuting thought into physical gold. You have the ability to build empires, lead movements, and rewrite the history of your family lineage. But you are tied to a tiny wooden peg of childhood programming. You are bound by the opinions of people who failed. You are shackled by the fear of criticism and the illusion of unworthiness. You look at the rope of your current circumstances, your job, your debt, your lack of education, and you say, I am bound. But the rope is an illusion. The peg is a phantom. The only thing holding you back is the software running in the dark corners of your own mind. The moment you decide to rewrite that software, the moment you decide to tear out the weeds and plant the seeds of absolute sovereignty, the rope will snap. You are here because you are ready to take the wheel. You are tired of the autopilot. You are tired of watching your life play out like a bad movie directed by a stranger. You are finally ready to step into the throne room of your own mind and issue a new set of commands. The process is simple, but it requires the discipline of a warrior. You must monitor your thoughts. You must catch yourself when you speak words of lack, and you must instantly cancel them out with words of abundance. You must refuse to entertain the fears of the past. You must visualize your victory with such intensity that your body literally vibrates with the emotion of the outcome. You must build a new psychological thermostat and set it to a level of excellence that terrifies the average man. The subconscious is the greatest servant in the universe, but it is the most tyrannical master. If you do not give it a definite chief aim, it will default to the aimless, fearful drifting of the masses. Do not let your life be a tragic accident of environmental programming. Take control of the machine. Speak the language of emotion. Demand the reality you desire, and refuse to accept anything less. The gold is waiting in the soil. The engine is waiting for the command. The universe is waiting to mirror your new vibration. Stop being a victim of your own mind. Become the master of your mental architecture. Reprogram the darkness. Command the light. Kill the drifter. Birth the king. Decide.